Good morning, students. Today we are going to do a second chapter of our moments, the adventures of Toto. This chapter has been written by Ruskin Bond. He's a well-known Indian writer, and he lives in Missouri, India. He is popularly known for his role in the growth of children's literature in India. He was awarded the Sahitya Academy Award in 1992 for his notable work Our Trees Still Grow in Dehra. It was his novel. He was awarded the Padma Shri in 1999 and Padma Bhushan in 2014. His notable works are, as I've said, Our Trees Still Grow in Dehra, A Flight of Peas Move, The Blue Umbrella. And if you remember, you have read his story, The Night Train at Deori in your class 8. That was also written by Ruskin Bond. So, let's begin our chapter, The Adventures of Toto. As I have said, that Ruskin Bond is popularly known for writing the literature for children. So this story also is written for the sake of the entertainment of the children. See here, The Adventures of Toto. As it is clear from the title itself, adventures means the exciting or daring experiences. And who is Toto here? See, you can simply note that the T is capital here. It means it must be a name of someone, somebody. So it's the name of a monkey, little monkey, baby monkey. So the chapter is about the adventure, the exciting or the daring experiences of that little monkey in the story. So let's begin our chapter. Have you ever had a baby monkey as a pet? Toto is a baby monkey. Let's find out whether he is mischievous. Mischievous means naughty, or docile. Docile means obedient. See here, everyone, I have written here a few words which we can use in collocation with the word pet. Faithful pet, trained pet, loyal pet, intelligent pet, pretty pet, affectionate pet, friendly pet, clever, noisy, nasty pet. So these all are the you can say here, you can have the list of collocations which we can put with the word pet. We can have the collocations, we have the adjectives here, and this is a noun, pet is a noun, so it will become adjective noun collocation, and we generally use these adjectives with the word pet. So you have learned some collocations today: faithful pet, trained pet, loyal pet, intelligent pet, pretty, affectionate pet, friendly, clever, noisy, nasty, docile pet, obedient pet, mischievous pet. So I hope it is clear. Okay, let's begin the story. As I told you, it is the story of the adventures or the daring, exciting experiences of the monkey. So let's begin with the first paragraph. The first paragraph, the gist of the first paragraph: how did Toto come to the family? We are going to read in the first paragraph. How did the monkey, the baby monkey, come to the family of the author? Grandfather bought Toto from a Tonga driver for the sum of 5 rupees. The Tonga driver used to keep the little red monkey tied to a feeding trough. Trough means the feed box, the box in which the animals are fed. The straw has been put in that, and the animals feed from there. And the monkey looked so out of place. So out of place means something very, very unusual about it. There was something unusual about it. It was extraordinary monkey. There, that grandfather decided he would add the little fellow to his private zoo. The grandfather had a private zoo in which there were many animals. We will come across the about the names of those animals later on in the chapter. So see, how did Toto come to the family, and why did grandfather brought him to the family? Let's find out. Grandfather bought Toto from a Tonga driver for the sum of 5 rupees. Grandfather paid 5 rupees to a Tonga driver who had the monkey with him. and he just bought the monkey from him. The Tonga driver used to keep the little red monkey tied to a feeding trough. How did he keep the little monkey with him? The Tonga driver, he would always tie him with the feeding trough, and the monkey looked so out of the place. It was so extraordinary looking that grandfather at once attracted towards the persona of the monkey, towards the pretty face of the monkey, and decided that he would add the little fellow to his private zoo. So grandfather decided to take him, to buy him, and add that little monkey to his little private zoo. Okay, now paragraph number 2. In paragraph number 2, we have been told about how pretty Toto was. His personality has been described here. Let's read it out. Toto was a pretty monkey. His bright eyes sparkled with mischief beneath deep-set eyebrows, and his teeth, which were pearly white, were very often displayed in a smile that frightened the life out of elderly Anglo-Indian ladies. Toto was a pretty monkey, very beautiful, very cute monkey. His bright eyes sparkled. He had bright eyes which sparkled, which shined, which glowed with mischief. Means one can imagine that how mischievous he was, just looking into his eyes. Beneath deep set eyebrows, his eyebrows very thick, and the eyes were deep set into his eyebrows, and his teeth, which were pearly white, and his teeth were pearly white, white as pearls, were very often displayed in a smile, and he generally had a smile on his face, and one could see the pearly white teeth when he smiles. That frightened, that the smile, in a smile that frightened the life out of elderly Anglo-Indian ladies, and he was quite mischievous to give a scar, to give you can say to frighten the ladies, the elderly Anglo-Indian ladies. Anglo-Indian ladies means the ladies which belong to England and India, as well as the elderly, the old women would always terrify looking at that pretty mischievous monkey. But his hands looked dried up, as though they had been pickled in the sun for many years. Okay, however, his hands looked dried up, quite dry. His hands were quite dry, and as if they had been pickled, they had been dried in the sun for many years. Means, in contrast to his beautiful, pretty, lovely face, his hands were not quite beautiful. His hands were quite dried up, as if they were dried in the sun for many days, for many years. Yet his fingers were quick and wicked. Yet his fingers, although his fingers were very quick, means he would very quickly do something mischievous with his fingers, and wicked again, cunning. And his tail, and what was special about his tail, while adding to his good looks, grandfather believed a tail would add to anyone's good looks. And tail, obviously, although his hands were not quite pretty, his face was quite pretty. His face was very pretty. He had bright eyes, he had pearly white teeth, he had a beautiful smile, and on the top of it, grandfather believed that his tail always added to his good looks. So only one part that you can say, he didn't have quite good, beautiful hands, but he had his tail, beautiful tail, and as well as a beautiful face. And the tail also served as a third hand, and he used his tail like his third hand. He could use it to hang from a branch. He could use it here stands for the tail. He could use his tail to hang from a branch, and it was capable of scooping up any delicacy that might be out of reach of his hands, and it was capable, means his tail was capable to pick up and move any delicacy. Any delicacy means any fruit from the trees that might be out of his reach of his hands, that he could not pick up or pick out or move from the branches with the help of his hands. So he would take the help of his tail to just pick up that fruit from the branch, from a higher branch, and just eat it. Okay, that's all. Next is paragraph number 3. Okay, grandfather had brought Toto home, but it was still a secret. He had not told anyone that he had brought the monkey at home. So let's find out how did he make arrangements to keep him. What did he do next? Toto's secret is still a secret. Grandmother always fussed with grandfather. Fuss means always annoyed with grandfather, means she was always angry with grandfather whenever grandfather brought home some new bird or animal, because they had to take care of many animals and she was quite busy with those animals, and she always had a complaint against grandfather whenever he brought or he brings any new entrant in the house, any new bird or animal. So it was decided, because grandfather knew that grandmother would have a burst of anger. She would definitely be annoyed, so he didn't tell the grandmother. So it was decided that Toto's presence should be kept a secret from her until she was in a particularly good mood. Means, so grandfather decided that he would tell the grandmother about Toto's presence in the house when she would be in a very good mood. So they decided to keep it a secret until grandmother would not be in a good mood. Grandmother and I put him away in a little closet. Closet means the almirah, or you can say yes, closet is an almirah. Grandfather and I put him away in a little closet opening into my bedroom wall, and it was in my bedroom wall. Who's my? The author. Where he was tied securely. Toto was tied securely, or so we thought. At least we thought that. Who are we? Grandfather and the author. The author and his grandfather. They thought that they had tied the monkey securely, very tightly, to a peg, which was peg means the hook, which was linked into the wall. Right, everyone? You can see the pegs upon which we hang our clothes every day. So you can very easily understand the meaning of peg. So there was a peg in the almirah, and the monkey was tied securely to that peg, and they thought, the author and his grandfather thought that he would be safe there and he would not do any mischief there. Okay, let's see what did Toto do in the closet. Toto's first blunder. Blunder means the big mistake. See, what did Toto do in that almirah? A few hours later, when grandfather and I came back to release Toto, we found that the walls, which had been covered with some ornamental paper chosen by grandfather, now stood out as naked brick and plaster. A few hours later, after some time, when the grandfather and the author came back to release Toto, to just release him from the almirah, to take him out from the almirah, they found that the walls of the almirah, which had been covered with a beautiful wallpaper, with some ornamental paper, means beautiful wallpaper chosen by grandfather, and grandfather had particularly chosen that beautiful wallpaper to be affixed, to be stuck on the wall of the almirah, now stood out as naked. Means the monkey had torn out that ornamental paper, that wallpaper, and it had just remained a wall of brick and plaster. One could see the cement plaster over it. The peg in the wall had been wrenched from its socket, and the peg upon which he was tied securely, it was just pulled out from its socket, from its link in the wall. And my school blazer means the author's school blazer, which had been hanging there, was in shreds, means it was torn in little thousands pieces. His school blazer, the author's school blazer, which had been hanging there, it was also there on the peg. It was in shreds, means the monkey had torn it completely. I wonder what the grandfather would say. I wonder, the author thought, what would be the reaction of the grandfather? But see, what was the reaction of the grandfather? But grandfather didn't worry. His grandfather didn't find something bothering him. He was not at all concerned what had the monkey done. He seemed pleased, rather, he seemed very happy with Toto's performance. What was Toto's performance? Toto has torn out the blazer of the author into shreds, and he has just pulled out the hook from the wall. He is clever, said grandfather. Given time, I'm sure he could have tied the torn pieces of a blazer into a rope and made his escape from the window. He is clever. The grandfather told the author that the monkey was very clever. Given time, if he would have given some more time, I'm sure, means the grandfather was sure that the monkey could have tied the torn pieces of the author's blazer into a rope, means he would have made up a rope with the torn pieces of the blazer and made his escape from the window, and with the help of that rope he would have escaped, he would have jumped out of the window and would have run away from the house. Okay, let's see what happens next. His presence in the house still a secret. This is what we are going to read in the next paragraph. Means still he was not shown to anyone in the family. Nobody could ever come to know about his presence in the family. Toto was now transferred to a big cage in the servants' quarters, where a number of grandfather's pets lived with sociably together: a tortoise, a pair of rabbits, a tame squirrel, and for a while my pet goat. So Toto was now transferred to a big cage in the servants' quarters, where a number of grandfather's pets lived very sociably together. Sociably means here friendly, means he was just transferred into a big cage. Toto was transferred into a big cage, and he was put his cage was put in the servants' quarter, where many other animals like a tortoise, a pair of rabbits, a tame means domesticated pet squirrel, and for a while my pet goat and the author's pet goat lived. But the monkey wouldn't allow any of these companions to sleep at night. But the monkey was so mischievous, he was so naughty that he would not let his companions, or let the other animals, his companions, who were the companions of the monkey, the other animals in the servants' quarter. He would not let the other animals sleep at night. So grandfather, who had to leave Dehra next day to collect his pension in Saharanpur, decided to take him along. So, because no one else had come to know about his presence in the house, and grandfather had to keep it a secret, he decided to take the monkey with him to Saharanpur, from where grandfather had to collect his pension. So let's see what happens. Now Toto is going to his first trip ever. See here in the next paragraph we are going to read Toto's trip to Saharanpur. Although I should say it was grandfather's trip to Saharanpur. Grandfather was taking Toto to Saharanpur, but because the whole chapter has been dedicated to Toto's adventures, so it must be written Toto's trip to Saharanpur, not the grandfather's trip. Unfortunately means unluckily, I could not accompany, I here stands for the author, could not accompany grandfather on that trip, but he told me about it afterwards. Unfortunately, unluckily, I couldn't go with my grandfather on that trip, but he told me, but my grandfather told me what happened on the way. to him and with the monkey. A big black canvas kit bag was provided for Toto. He was shifted into a very big black canvas bag, this with some straw at the bottom, and some straw was laid in the bottom of the bag, so that it could become soft at the bottom. Became his new abode. His new abode means the monkey's new home. So grandfather took a big canvas bag. He put some straw in the bottom of the bag so that it could be treated like a bed for the monkey, and the monkey was shifted into that bag. When the bag was closed, there was no escape. The bag was big and very, you can say, safe for the monkey, that he could not escape. He could not tear it into shreds. Toto could not get his hands through the opening, and the canvas was too strong for him to bite his way through. So the canvas bag was very, very strong, and the monkey could not make holes into that canvas bag. His efforts to get out only had the effect of making the bag roll about on the floor or occasionally jump into the air. And his efforts, although he kept on trying to come out of the bag, and in his efforts the bag would tumble down. While it was put on the seat, it would tumble down and roll about on the floor of the train, and occasionally jump into the air. Why the bag would jump into the air? Because the monkey inside it was jumping into the air. So an exhibition that attracted a curious crowd of onlookers on the Dehradun railway platform. So on the platform, when the bag would jump into the air or would roll on the floor of the platform, the onlookers, the people around the grandfather would just looked curiously towards the bag, what was happening inside it. Toto remained in the bag as far as Saharanpur, means up to Saharanpur. Toto remained in the bag, but while grandfather was producing his ticket at the railway turnstile, Toto suddenly poked his head out of the bag and gave the ticket collector a wide grin. Grin means a smile. Toto remained in the bag as far as Saharanpur, means up to Saharanpur. The monkey was kept into the bag. He couldn't come out of the bag. But when the grandfather was showing his ticket at the railway turnstile to the ticket collector, Toto at once poked his head out of the bag. He just took out his head out of the bag and gave a ticket collector a wide smile, and he gave the ticket collector a big smile. The poor man, who's the poor man here? The poor man here is the ticket collector, was taken aback. Taken aback means astonished. He was taken aback, astonished, but with great presence of mind and much to grandfather's annoyance, he said, "Sir, you have a dog with you. You'll have to pay for it accordingly." So when the ticket collector saw an animal in the bag, he was annoyed. He was angry with the grandfather, and he used his presence of mind. Actually, he was not annoyed. He used his presence of mind, and grandfather was upset that he had found out about the presence of the monkey. He said, the ticket collector said, "Sir, you have a dog with you. You have to pay. You'll have to pay for it accordingly. Sir, you're carrying a dog with you in the bag, so you'll have to take an extra ticket for the dog." In vain did grandfather take Toto out of the bag. In vain means having no effect, means without any effect on the you can say without any outcome, not having any profit, not having any profit of taking Toto out of bag. In vain did he try to prove that a monkey did not qualify as a dog or even as quadruped. Quadruped means an animal having 4 legs. So actually the ticket collector had asked the grandfather, because he was carrying a dog, although he was not carrying a dog, it was a monkey, but the ticket collector wanted to prove that it was a dog, and he had to take an extra ticket. He had to pay extra sum of money to the ticket collector because he was carrying a dog. So grandfather actually did great efforts. He did whatever he could do to prove that it was not a dog, it was just a monkey. But the ticket collector could not be satisfied, and he finally, just decided. He finally announced that it was not a monkey; it was a dog. Toto was classified a dog by the ticket collector. So the ticket collector finally gave his decision that it was not a monkey, it was a dog, and the grandfather would have to pay for it. And the 3 rupees was the sum handed over as his fare, and grandfather had to pay 3 more rupees as his fare. Then grandfather, just to get his own back, took from his pocket out our pet tortoise and said, "What must I pay for this, since you charge for all animals?" Then grandfather, just to get his own bag, took from his pocket. So now grandfather was so upset, so annoyed with the act of the ticket collector, because the ticket collector had proved a monkey a dog. So he was so annoyed with the act of ticket collector. He just took out the tortoise from his pocket and he asked in anger, "What must I pay for this, since you charge for all animals? So am I supposed to pay for this also? Here is a tortoise in my pocket. So are you going to charge for it also, because you charge for all animals?" The ticket collector looked closely at the tortoise, prodded it with his forefinger. Prodded it means poked it, just touched it with his finger. Gave grandfather a pleased and triumphant look. He said, "No, Charles, it's not a dog." And he announced that, "No, I will not charge for it, because it's not a dog. It's not showing any symptoms, any no reaction." And he said, "No, Charles, it is not a dog." So up to here, we have come to know how Toto came into the family, how it was kept a secret from the grandmother, how the grandfather took him to Saharanpur just to keep his presence a secret from the grandmother, and what happened at the railway station at Saharanpur. The ticket collector charged extra sum of money, considered the monkey as a dog. Next part, we will find out some more extraordinary experiences, or you can say adventures of Toto, in the next part of the chapter. That's all for today. Thank you very much.